how this passage memorized in the Bible. Ezekiel 27, the righteous path. 25:13 even. The path of the righteous man.
It's beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men.
My nigga.
Blessed is he who, in the name of goodwill and charity, shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost men. And I will strike down upon thee with great
vengeance and furious anger
those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee. Is that actually recording?
Yeah.
We should leave that at the end.
Yeah, that's staying in.
Just leave it.
That's staying in. Okay, so on that note, welcome to Black Man Problems. My name is Anthony Brown.
And I'm Ciaran Callum.
And our topic of conversation for this episode is people don't want you to succeed. Now, this was kind of brought to our attention when we saw Terry Crews put a really, really valid point in one of his recent blogs on Facebook where he was saying about humbleness and how people have mistaken humbleness for something else.
For some sort of virtue, basically.
Yeah.
Like by playing small and not admitting to your strengths and your achievements, that's somehow a good thing. So the idea being, say, if you've been in the gym for ages and you've got yourself a fantastic body, well, what a lot of people prefer is that you be humble and not show off your fantastic body, rather than be like, you know what, I've worked hard for this thing.
Yeah.
I'm looking good. So,
therefore, let me show it off to the world.
So now it's time to start wearing some tight t-shirts and really, show the world what's going on.
Sun's out, guns out kind of attitude. Because, like, what I feel like, where I've experienced this, like, I do this all the time. I go to the gym. We both go to the gym quite a bit. But I'll put up what they call a selfie on Instagram. And some people will appreciate it, but you'll get a lot of people that will be like, oh, look at you loving yourself, putting up pictures of you. I'm like, leave me alone. Don't follow me. Don't follow my Instagram feed if you don't like it. And don't put me down for being, proud of my body and what I've achieved and also putting up like healthy food stuff. I find it inspirational when I see other people do these things. So I want to inspire other people and at the same time be really happy about what I've achieved.
I find that, okay, so people who know me don't really try to tear me down for doing stuff. So like, if I post up a picture of myself, people don't really say to me, oh, don't do that. But I have noticed that people don't get excited for anything I do. The majority of people I know, like say this channel for instance, we're starting this YouTube channel, BlackManProblems. We obviously want to take this really far. We hope it will be the birth of our careers.
Yeah.
You would imagine that anybody who calls us a family member or friend would be ecstatic for us to be doing this.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But I have told quite a few people about this, and the amount of people that go, oh, that sounds fucking awesome. It's very slim.
Yeah.
It's slim.
Yeah, and it's not anything to do with the content or, what it is we're talking about with on the channel. It's got nothing to do with that, because I'd be able to tell with that, and I can tell when people do think that is the reason why they don't like it. But it's usually to do with, I think, when you're just doing something to better yourself, or you're doing something that's like, that might have prospects of you being successful in the future. I think other people don't really like it. They like for you to stay on a certain level, and they kind of get scared that you're going to get to a certain point above them where they're going to start feeling smaller and shitty about themselves. So they're kind of like, they have this fear of your success, possibly.
Yeah.
Of your even possible success.
I think that's because it's kind of like I think people generally sort of judge themselves by like what they see around them.
Yeah,
the
their
people
social
who are
circle.
Them.
Yeah.
So even though you might be earning, let's say you're earning 20 grand a year, for instance. 20 grand a year isn't a great amount of money by any stretch of the imagination. But you're earning 20 grand a year and you're around a lot of other people who earn 20 grand a year, or thereabouts. And maybe you've got a little brother who earns 15 and it's like, oh, I'm richer than my brother because, I've got a bit of money. And then, you got a friend who earns 21 or what have you. And you've even got a cousin who earns 10. And this cousin is kind of like not doing as well as you, and you love the cousin and stuff.
Yeah,
but at
yeah,
the same
yeah.
time, you can rest with that feeling of superiority.
Yeah. And
But-
everyone does it. Everyone does this. 'Cause
Yeah.
I can familiarise with it.
A lot of people do. But then when your cousin, who earns 10 grand a year, suddenly now transforms and he starts reading self-help books and he realizes, oh my gosh, I need to get my life in order. So
Yeah.
he starts watching his diet and getting his brain right. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden he's trying to like become more organized and he's really doing things to sort himself out. And then you start to notice that he's doing all of these things, and then his earnings starts to grow, and then he starts to dwarf you. That then makes you feel bad, or makes a lot of people feel bad about where they are.
I think it can go over one of two ways. Like you can either get bitter and you kind of sneer at their success, or you don't really congratulate them because you're kind of secretly jealous, the green-eyed monster. Or two, it inspires you then to better yourself. Now, what you've got to decide is which one of those two people you are. I've been both. I have definitely been both. But for me, especially with my good friends, like I like to surround myself with entrepreneurial people, hence why we met. Hence my social circle is filled with a lot of people that own their own businesses and do their own thing, because I find it inspires me to be a better person myself. Where would you say you stand? How do you get?
No, I'm totally the same. I'm
Yeah.
totally the same. So if I see somebody do something really impressive, that just makes me think, okay, I need to step my game up.
Yeah, that's exactly the route I go.
That's pretty much what I think. But what I was just thinking from hearing you talk, it's like, the reason I think that maybe you and maybe me are happy to be around entrepreneurial people, or people that are doing things, I guess that's because on some level we believe we can do it ourselves.
Yeah.
But then, so what if you didn't? Guess what I'm saying is,
If you didn't believe you could do it yourself, that is when you become the latter, the person that is bitter and kind of doesn't want to champion anyone else who's doing something to kind of better themselves. You've had it before, and I've had it before, where you're telling someone about something that you're doing. If you're someone who really wants to do something, and that person is kind of being a bit like, yeah, that's cool, and you feel like you should be a little bit more enthusiastic about this. Why do you seem a little bit like almost disgruntled?
one thing I've noticed, most people who know me will know that I'm the kind of person, if you say, oh, you know what, Ciaran, I've always had this idea of starting a business where I sell X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
You say something like that to me, and I'll say, okay, all right, I've got half an hour. Let's sit down. Let's talk about how we can make this work. That's basically me.
Yeah.
If I get the tiniest inkling that somebody I know has something they would like to be doing, whether or not that's they want to take up sewing or they want to be an actor or something, I'll be like, okay, let's work this out.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that, say, a lot of people, there'll be people who I've had those sorts of conversations with, who I've tried to help to push in that direction. But then I don't feel like they necessarily help me. Like the numbers of people, the number of people in my life who actively seem to really care about pushing me to succeed. I feel are
very little though.
Yeah. And when I think about it, I think it's because the people who I have tried to push, I don't think that they believe they can do it, and I feel like most people think that their dreams are just dreams and that it's impossible, or that they're lacking in some way.
It's a common disease that like most people, like I'm going to say maybe 80% of people would rather just kind of mosey on through life, do the normal things. Oh yeah.
There's a spot of vodka.
So take a little
Dracula wine.
alcohol. It is actually Dracula wine. Supposed to drink it with blood apparently. We ain't gonna do that today. But most people, 80%, maybe 70%, would rather just kind of work for someone else, just do what everyone else does, learn a trade, just, the easy option, not the easy option, but like just the standard what people do. Whereas you get the other percentage of people who want to make their own business, they want to do something, they want to stand out from the crowd. They're like, no, I don't want to work for anyone. I want to become, the next Bill Gates.
How do you feel about that?
I love the fact that there is, those two different types of people. I just like to feel like I'm one of those people that, wants to be entrepreneurial and wants to be like the next Steve Jobs. Oh, God. The next Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs?
Steve Jobs. I want to be the next Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs.
I want to be that next guy. I want to be the next person. I want to be the Jay-Z, the people, that guy that everyone had, you know, everyone was against him, and then he showed them wrong, because a lot of people do put you down when you're trying to, like, make something of yourself.
People would say that is arrogant.
Yeah.
And who are you? Who are you to want to be that person?
And this is what
What right do you have? There's only one Steve Jobs. There's only one Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at the numbers of people that are, like, exceptional,
Yeah.
there's not many.
Yeah, there's very few. So why would you be one of them?
Why you?
Yeah.
Why
so
you?
when you're saying, if you said to someone, right, one of your friends, I'm going to be the next Bill Gates, that's what I want to do, they would already be going, who's this guy thinks he's going to be, oh, have you heard that? He's talking about he wants to be the next Bill Gates. Why do they feel they need to put you down that way? Why don't they go, do you know what? I like the way he's thinking. He wants to be this next big thing, and I think he's going to do it because he's always said it. That's the attitude, really, that everyone should have, but it's not, because I think secretly they just don't want you to get there, because they're not doing that, or they don't feel they can, so they don't want you to feel that you can, because therefore you're going to surpass them in life, and they're going to feel a failure.
Well,
that's my prediction.
It's also like, as well, if you're someone who really and truly wants to be a rocket scientist, but you happen to be driving buses, for instance, in order to get through the day, you have to tell yourself that being a rocket scientist is a silly idea.
Yeah.
You kind of need to come up with a justification
to stop the blow of probably failure hurting you more.
Yeah.
But
you have to find a way to justify.
You've got to be realistic in a way.
But my point is this. So, if I'm a bus driver who secretly would be a rocket scientist if I had the confidence, but because I don't, I tell myself that being a rocket scientist is bloody ridiculous, and that I live in the real world where people have taxes and stuff, and whatever, so of course I'm not going to go and chase some stupid idea of what have you, then I can't have people who know me showing me up, or not even showing me up, but just thrusting my own failures in my face.
Exactly, yeah.
I can't.
Because you're not gonna make it. I'm gonna tell you about a book. Many people know about it. It's I think it's Rhonda Byrne.
Fear the Fear.
The Secret.
Oh, The Secret.
Yeah. So I think that's the one book that really changed my life. It's the whole reason why I'm in London, because when I was thought about moving to London, it's like, it's the big city, it's expensive. But I read this book. I spoke to a couple of people, and it changed my mindset. And it's basically going back to what you said. If you're thinking, oh, I can't be a rocket scientist, I drive this bus. If you're thinking in that way, that's the route you're going to go. You're not going to do it. Whereas if you're thinking, I can do this, you're going to go, you know what, I'm going to start studying this, because that's in the right direction to get to Z. So you actively do things to get to where you want to go. Whereas you're not thinking you can do it. You're not going to actively make moves to head in that direction. Therefore, you will not have the outcome of success.
See, that's spot on. And there's something I read about the way the brain works, which basically backs up what you're saying, which is this. It's like, your brain is like Google. In the sense of, you go to Google and you say, Google, can I see some trainers? And Google go, here you go. And then you go to Google, I want social networks. Here you are, here's social networks. Boom. So all your brain basically does is answer questions that you ask it. Yeah. So if you say to your brain, I'm an idiot, I'm an idiot, I'm an idiot, then your brain's saying, here's some reasons why you're an idiot. Basically, that's actually the way your brain works.
Yes. But it's
your
true,
brain basically, it's just a machine, you input commands into it and then it just spits it out.
Yeah.
So for instance, if you've got a problem, right, and there's something you need to, whatever problem, you're like, oh shit, I've got to get £500 in the next week, and you don't earn any money whatsoever. How can I get, let's call it 10 grand. I've got to get 10 grand in the next week. Most people would probably go, oh my gosh, this is impossible. I can't do this. And your brain's like, you're right, this is impossible, because how are you realistically going to get 10 grand in the next week? But if you say, how can I get 10 grand in the next week? And that's what that's the question you put in your brain. Your brain will start to think, okay, how can I get 10 grand in the next week? What can I do? And then your brain will start coming up with ideas. Yeah. And then those ideas, some might be legal, some won't. But the point is,
you would figure out a way to get that 10 grand. Yeah. Because you're thinking in the right mindset. And that's, I think, what it is. I think that's what it is that people lack. That mindset that they haven't trained themselves. I think it's just the way people have been brought up. I travel I've travelled to quite a few different places and seen the way different people think. So, and Sweden is one of the one places I've been to that I've realised they teach the kids over there completely differently to the way they teach the kids in the UK. Yes, if you go to Sweden, like here, they'll teach you, you know, find a good job, learn a trade maybe, get yourself a good job and work for someone. In Sweden, the attitude is, don't work for someone, create your own job, work for yourself and make your own money for your own business. That's what they push out there. And they're very ethical about the way they think and the way, and they don't mind playing the slow game, like if I get to here, I can get to this, if I get to there, do that, and therefore in the end picture, I'll have this big thing. Whereas here, I feel like we want the quick success, like, I just want to get the money quick now. No, they don't mind playing the slow game. I'm going to study this for a certain amount of years. I'm going to get this degree, then it's going to allow me to go to this school, then when I can do this, they just don't mind playing the slow game, and they're looking to start their own business. You check out all of the major big businesses that have come out, like IKEA and I think it's H&V. There's a lot of big things that have come from Sweden you don't realise.
H&V's from Sweden?
Is it Sweden? I might have just lied then.
I think so.
Yeah, I think I just lied.
I think H&V stands for Her Majesty's Voice.
No, not H&V, H&M I think I was thinking.
Oh, yeah.
It might be H&M I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But like, there's a lot of companies that have come out of Sweden that I'm just like, man, how comes all these like major things come out of Sweden? Really good, great products as well. And I think it's just because they teach the kids completely differently to the way they teach the kids here.
What would you say your goals are then?
Right.
Like, say for you in your life.
Right. What's the word I'm looking for now? Unashamedly, right? I want money, success, and fame, right? And I'll explain
Women?
each. Women will come with that. That will come within that trio.
However,
Right?
Let's be honest though.
Yeah. You don't want them because of
Let's
that.
some honesty.
Yeah. You want women, but I don't want a woman because I've got these things. I want the right woman for me anyway.
Oh.
Then you put fame in there. As soon as you put fame into when you put fame in there, everyone kind of goes, ah. They don't see the other things. They don't hear success. They don't hear money. They just hear fame for some reason. That sticks out. They just see you as someone who's fame hungry, or blah blah blah. Whereas what's wrong with wanting fame, wanting to be recognised for your success? I don't want fame first. I want success first, and then I want the money from my success, and then I want the fame from those two things. I want the fame to come from my success. I don't want to be one of these people who are just famous for doing whatever, and then them
Like a reality TV
like a
star,
reality TV show star who then, no disrespect to them, but that's not what my route I want to go is. Because if you get fame first, it doesn't necessarily bring success. There's an illusion around fame that people who are famous are really wealthy and successful. Most of the times they're not. They need the fame to stay in the limelight, because if they're not, they can't really get, like, you've ever seen someone who's really famous, like, and then they've lost their job or whatever, their career's fallen, they can't really get a regular job after that because they're so famous. It'd be embarrassing for them just to go in Sainsbury's and work. So I don't want that kind of fame. I want success, and then I want to be famous from how successful I've been. Like, what's his name now? Virgin Plains guy.
Richard Branson.
Richard Branson now. He's famous, but he's not famous for being famous. He's infamous for all the successful things that he's done, and therefore he's become wealthy for it. That's what I want.
Okay, so my next question is, how do you plan to get there? Or do you have an idea, actually?
I always have a plan. I've always had a plan.
What is your plan at the moment?
See, I have many interests, like creatively. Like I've got, my music that I write. I songwrite. I produce. I like writing in generally, like scripts, comedies mostly. Like you like writing, like yours is like more black, dark comedy. Would you say? Would you try to think? I can't describe your writing style, but it's like.
Yeah.
But that novel was quite like dark.
I'm not sure how to describe
your writing style.
No.
Mine has always been comedic.
It's just Ciaran.
Yeah, that's just Ciaran. But yeah, so I've got these different like kind of creative things, like my music, my writing, my filmmaking, and what I want to do is I want to make each and every passion of mine successful in its own right, but it's difficult to do because people will see you as a jack of trades. But like my dream is to conquer one field really well, dominate it, and then conquer another field, dominate it. But just do it, trying to make them all come together at the same time. Like, say we do this blog, then in this blog I could have the music I produce and write underneath the blog. Now this blog, when we first started it, we've always said this is going to connect directly to something very special that we're writing that you're going to probably see in the future. And you're going to look back at this video and go, oh my God, there he is talking about it right now. This is what he must have been talking about. I've always got this plan that there are all these kind of creative things that I do that come together at once. And I want to be known for the person that took all his passions and was successful at every single one of them, or made them successful at some point in his life and acquired wealth from it. That's my dream. And then leave something for the kids. Kids.
That's quite a powerful dream.
Yeah.
What I'd say as well is like, really and truly the way I feel is, okay, so you have that dream there. And I don't think that dream is necessarily much bigger or more grandiose than dreams that loads of other people have. But it's like, to me, the idea of living your life, having a dream and then not doing it, it's like you might as well be dead, really.
Yeah, like not even trying.
Yeah, I literally feel like if you're not going to do that, why are you here?
Yeah, exactly.
Like literally, why do you exist?
Just to work.
What is the point of Anthony Brown if
Exactly.
you're not actually going after the things that Anthony Brown was?
Exactly.
You might as well die tomorrow.
Exactly.
And to be honest, I feel like I would actually rather, if you gave me two options, and option number one was you can live the rest of your life without ever having even attempted to go for your dreams and just working a 9 to 5 and having 2.4 children. And I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with that, but I don't think it's for me. If that's option number one, and option number two is, you know what, just like end it tomorrow. I'd probably rather end it tomorrow, because the things that I want them so much, and I've never been the kind of person who feels like he can just live the way that I'm supposed to live.
Yes,
it's
that's
not.
exactly
It's
how I
really,
feel,
it's really not for me.
Yeah, that's not for me
and
either.
I've got to figure out a way to do this. Yeah, which is a large part of why we're doing this channel.
Yeah,
but well, I suppose that's a nice segue to get into me and my goals. What are my goals? I'm doing a number of things. So at the moment, as we know, I'm a writer. I'm writing a novel right now, which is really almost finished.
It's good.
I'm writing two things currently at the moment.
A good one, as I was saying.
Yeah, so I'm writing a novel right now, which is called Start a Revolution. And it's more or less almost finished. I'm on the third draft, and the only thing I'm doing now is touching up the grammar. Like, the book is actually written, 107,000 words. And I want to get that out there. But you see, this book, it's like, it's a book about two people coming together in really trying times. And I hope and pray and believe that people will read the book and actually get something from it in terms of like a different way to look at themselves and to look at life, as well as being entertained by the story. That's one thing.
It's a good book. It is a good book. When I first started reading it, I was like, because you're saying about two people, it's like two people that you would never expect to get together. Like, you've got every hope they've got no hope in hell in really they should get together. I haven't finished the end of it or read the whole thing, but what I read of it, I was like, this is interesting. Well, just so you know.
Thank you. Your check's in
just
the
to
mail.
plug it for you.
Your check is in the mail. Actually, no, that online banking transfer.
Yeah. Just ching.
And so I'm doing that. Also, last year I did what did I do? I did a challenge called 100 Days of Rejection, where every day for 100 days I went out and faced a different type of rejection to get over the fear of rejection, which is part of why I feel confident enough to do this YouTube channel and say the sort of stuff that I'm saying, knowing that loads of people will hate it. I'm turning my 100 Days of Rejection diary into a book. So that's something that I'm doing as well. What else am I actually working on?
The stand-up comedy, which probably comes into the...
That's the big one, actually. That's a big one. So yeah, I'm going to really... I'm going to become a stand-up comic. And in the next 30 days, I'm currently doing a daily challenge called I Love Myself, where every day for 60 days, I'm constantly telling myself that I love myself, like about a few thousand times a day.
That's good. I think that's a good thing or bad thing. It can't be a bad thing for you, can it?
The idea is that your brain, you can reprogram your brain by saying a phrase repeatedly and with passion. And if you say repeatedly with passion...
And out loud as well, right?
Yeah.
The Secret teaches this, but yeah, go on.
You say that, eventually you'll believe it.
Yeah.
And one thing I've learned is that basically most problems people have is from an inner sort of lack of self-love.
Yeah,
most
self-belief.
problems. Yeah. So I am attempting to basically heal that within myself, because God knows I'm not perfect, by doing this challenge. And it's a 60-day challenge that I'm currently doing on Reddit. Point is, once that is done, and I'm now on like day 30, once that is done, then I'm going to start on another one, which is going to be called How to Be Funny, in which I chronicle my journey to be a stand-up comic, which is going to be like writing bits of material, performing once or twice a week, getting booed off stage, crying.
Well, I'm going to join you on that one. That's like literally on my bucket list, stand-up comedy. 'Cause I was talking to you about this before, but
we can start in 30 days.
Yeah, 30 days.
We can start in
What's
30
your
days.
space?
Well,
30
this is
days.
the thing is, though, you actually have to follow through now, because it's...
Oh,
you can't back out, though.
Can't back out now.
But, so, this is
Gotta do that.
my overall goal, though. What's my overall goal? If you spoke to me when I was 5, for my entire life, I've kind of felt like I was destined to be something really special. And I know how arrogant that sounds.
That's really weird. I've always felt like that.
I know how arrogant that sounds, though.
It's weird. I've felt like that, though. If you felt like that, please let us know. I don't want to feel left out. Like, I know I've got him now to feel the same way. But there can't be just 2 people in the world that have ever felt like that.
I always have. And
Same here.
You know, about a month ago, I went to see a therapist person. And she did this type of therapy called EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, where you do like tapping and do. And so you'll be, so I'm tapping on various parts of my hand and also on my face. It's called EFT. Now, the weird thing about EFT is a proper practitioner will it brings up really crazy, like, emotions from the past. Right. So you'll be there and then the woman will go, even though I've always felt like people hate me, and then you'll just break down into tears.
Really?
Yeah.
And you're doing this the whole time to yourself?
So I'm there with the woman. I'm just crying the whole way through.
No way, man.
Exactly. So it's like she's doing something.
Broke you down?
She's doing something. But anyway, point being, in the last session, she has me close my eyes and like visualize my future.
Yeah.
And I visualize my future, and basically I'm in America. I've got children, a family who love me, and I've got like loads of money. And she goes, "Where's this coming from?" And it's like, I'm like, "Oh crap, I'm really big in the world of TV and film, aren't I?" And it's like, we had this happen. Oh my gosh, I've created things that have inspired millions. Oh shit, that's who I am. And basically, since then,
I can see that. I could have told you that in like 10 minutes.
Well, you know.
But yeah, go on. So she told you
Since
this.
then, I just told myself, like, I don't know whether or not what that woman said was true, but I want it to be true. And this is what I'm going to do. I've just decided now to just live my life as if it actually is true.
But why can it not be true? Like, it's again the same thing. You program your mind set to kind of do what you want to do and achieve, and you feel like this is true. I'm going to do this. You're going to be thinking that the whole time in life, so you will make it happen. And like, you'll fail a couple of times, but you'll get there. You'll find the most successful people in the world have failed a whole bunch of times, and they just kept going. If you keep going, you will eventually get your goal.
My overall goal is to one day be like 50 or 60 and have scores of people either write to me, email me, video message me, meet me in person and say, "You changed my life." That's literally what I want. Yeah.
And inspire them to stop thinking in like that kind of the negative way where they feel like they can't.
Yeah. So what we're just saying about people who feel like they want to do something but they can't.
Yeah.
Like, if I want people to say, "I felt like I couldn't until I saw you do X, and now because of you doing X, I went and did this."
A lot of people know the right way for you to get to your goal, depending on what it is, but they kind of don't want to tell you. They kind of want to keep it secret because they want to keep the success for themselves as well. So it works the other way around.
So have we exhausted this conversation topic?
So what did we do? Let's go over, let's do a quick summary. So basically, we were saying people don't want you to succeed, and what you've got to do is avoid having those people in your social circle.
Actually, we didn't say that, but we're kind of saying it now.
You're saying it now.
Yeah, so in your life, you probably have a number of people who don't want you to succeed. And like, they might not actively come out and say it, but like, let's say you're a stoner, right? And you sit down with all your friends and you smoke weed all the time and you eat sweets and chocolates or candy if you're American, whatever. And you're eating pizza, you're watching films. And that's all nice to do and it's fun and whatnot. If you suddenly decide you want to go and do X, your stoner friends aren't going to help you. What they're going to try to do is they'll try to convince
Keep you there.
Yeah. Because A, they don't want to lose you as a friend, and B, when people know you as one thing, they like you to remain that one thing. So
yeah, you're a product of the people you keep around you.
Yeah.
So if you hang around with a load of stoners, in most likelihood you're probably going to be a stoner. If you hang around with a load of people that are inspiring and doing great things with your life, most likelihood is that you're going to be inspiring to other people's lives to do great things with your life as well. So pick the right people in your social circle and you will be successful and happy, is what we're saying. This has been Black Man Problems, and a different topic to the usual, but make sure you leave all your comments down in the YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe.
please do.
Yeah, and find the Facebook page, which is up now, and also we're on Twitter.
At Callum Brown. So it's basically at CALLAMBROWN. So my surname, his surname.
Done.
That's us on Twitter.
So you can tweet us as well, and if there's any points and any topics that you'd like for us to cover, please write in, let us know. Email us for any business inquiries as well. All the details are on the YouTube channel. Go check us out, write your comments, and we will see you soon.
Yeah, one more thing as well. Whether or not you agree with what we're saying or strongly disagree, let us, let's talk.
Boom.
Let's talk. I mean, we've spoken about people hating and trying to attack people online, and that's all well and good. But at the same time, if you feel you have a valid reason as to why what we're saying doesn't make sense, I'd like to hear it. So, let's converse, let's communicate. But at the same time, if you really do like what we're saying as well, then
Tell us that too.
Yeah, let's create a dialogue.
Yeah, let's get a dialogue
That's one
going.
of my favourite words,
Chatter.
Yeah.
Banter.
No, dialogue.
Dialogue's better.
But
yeah.
banter makes
Too
it sound,
slow.
yeah, just
Bant.
a little bit of cheeky banter.
Yeah. Me and cheeky banter, really.
However, what I would like to do is create a dialogue with the listeners.
Okay,
a dialogue with our viewers. You see the difference.
Yeah, it's much better.
You see
You
the
can't create a banter with the fucking...
No.
All right then. Well,
But we can have some banter within the dialogue. We
there you
can
go.
do that.
There you go.
Right.
Well, we'll see you next time, guys. Bye.
See ya.
Sweet.
It's really funny, right?
Yeah.
So it's some girl I'm communicating with. We met on Tinder.
Yeah.
Now, she was just like kind of another girl until she sent one comment. I thought, okay, I like this girl now. And all it was, where was it? So I said, so tell me about you. Who is the woman, the myth, and the legend that is Angela? She said, so what do you class as not a regular party? I told you that earlier. And she said, well, the myth is legendary and the legend is mythical. And I saw that and I was like, I was like,
She's a wordsmith.
I said, yeah, I like this girl now.
Yeah, that's definitely down your alley.
I saw that. I was like, oh, I actually like it.
I like that.
So now it's like, yeah.
A little bit different. I like that.
Yeah, she goes, well, the myth is legendary and the legend is mythical.
Makes all the difference. It's what you say, girls. It's what you say.
Are we recording?
Yeah, we're still recording.
Might as well leave that in.
Yeah, we can leave that in.
Just like some outtakes.